Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I haven't slept yet. I'm doing legal work, but I wanted to. I'm seeing this not only just on Instagram and TikTok, but also on YouTube. The comment with one of the Florida Highway Patrol officers, troopers, I should say, their Governor Desantis, made an agreement with Homeland Security. They're starting to do immigration enforcement. But you got to understand these some of these troopers or regular regular officers don't have immigration immigration enforcement is different from public, you know regular citizens arrest. And since they don't have no probable cause, since they made it government trompetas made this enforcement, and quota and everything. But you gotta understand, most of these officers are they're not officers. Well, they got deputized, saying, oh, but these are like, Proud Boys, uh, white supremacists. And you can tell right away they're not, you know, don't have law enforcement experiences. Just because Trump said that trying to enforce all these arrests, we all have uh, we all have rights in the 14th Amendment. Even if you're not a U.S. citizen, you're grounded. You have the right for due process, and you have the right, you know, go to court and or like fight, or if you have citizenship, most of them, this is what they're doing, they're racial profiling. And I've said that before, way back when Radiolab had a little segment on the border road. It's called border something. What is the segments are called border trilogy, but it's kind of like in El Paso, I think it's Bowie High School. The immigration officers were doing the same thing, racial profiling. They're high school students, and but they filed a lawsuit, you know racial profiling, and that's where they got um, the claim. But you gotta understand, the immigration or whatever, it goes to Congress, and everybody points the finger at Biden or Trump or Obama. But no, it's Congress. Congress has got the one, does the regulation on immigration services. That's why it's so hasn't gone anywhere. A lot of people are waiting. A lot. Trump thinks you know these people, like waiting for their hearing, is because they need more judges. But that's Project 2020, 2025. That's gonna They want to eliminate the 14th Amendment, eliminate rest in because they want to make the white race supreme back in with this has been going on for a long time. And that's why kind of like you gotta read your history, and it goes on for a long time. Operation Wetback, during the and they kind of like they give those visas for they come in. Uh, they call it eight something, But the main thing is my main thing for right now, we because they're just arresting people, like they look at your color of your skin. It's like, oh, and they go off of what people. There are a lot of snitches out there that call and report, oh, there's illegal over here, blah blah blah, and that's what they do then. And I'm pretty sure they're going to get more white supremacies now. They're giving, like, bonuses, sign-on bonuses. But we need to be. I've said that before. You got to be in groups, know your surroundings, because that way you can record. use your cell phone. I'm gonna try to get a body cam. I, no, I've already been browsing around with the officials over here, and I was sweating bullets when they confiscated my my U.S. citizenship in the state of Texas and the state of Oklahoma. They enforce uh, both Department of Corrections to get, because they can get your birth certificate, but they can't get it's the same thing. That's my argument. That's what I told them. It's like, I can't get a state ID. I'm a citizenship. I'm naturalized. Without that document, I can't get anything for it. But they knew that they're making it harder on me. But now now they're saying like you need to carry your ID. If you got your green card, I made a copy of it. I'm gonna once my dad and my brother gets back, I'm gonna make them a copy. Carry this with you guys. They don't care. And so now they're saying because they know people are starting to sue. And if it happens to you, even though you're in a different, you get in a detention center, or that's when your family member steps in and file. You know, you have, even though uh, that's why they're kind of like they're doing what they're doing, but they're getting away with it. And we got to be smart. We got to be smart, unite, and go in groups. I'm not saying like in groups, because if it like for me, it's kind of like hard, you know, until. But I carried my both. Now I got a state ID, but with when I got that certificate, I made a copy and carried it with me. I told you guys, I don't trust nobody. But I've been saying that, and then you got to go there. Remember when COVID was going on? I was in prison, but I've been hearing like a lot of people fighting the rules about the mask. President Biden made it everybody had to wear a mask. Well, the Black Laws Dictionary, it's like to mandate 16, because even though they put an order in, you can like contest it. Black Law Dictionary. I'll put it down. I'll put it down in the comments or description. It explains it. Even though they mandate you to do something, you can like contest it. But that's what he said. You have no rights. But no, you got there's that mandate. But he said, I'm a citizen. You can't do that. I have rights, and that's the mandate that Trump, then Ron Desantis, I don't know if they. You got to be careful, especially in Florida, because Florida now made it to where the state troopers. I don't know about the city, like city officers, like any, in different cities, because they can't do it, But the Florida troopers are helping ICE and Homeland Security do their immigration enforcement. But you, like I said, there's immigration laws than regular citizens. We all have rights, but you got to everybody. It's really hard, to explain it if you don't know. You know, uh, there's state codes, like criminal codes. Everybody has a policy procedure on arrest. Even if you get arrested, you gotta, they have to, inventory your property. Everything. But my main thing is, guys, what be aware of your surroundings. Know your rights. Look up. What's this? I had too much coffee. We need to learn. I'll even put I'll put the mandate, and I'll put like a little clip of what she's, because I can't explain it. I don't like it. I know it in my head, but trying to explain it. That's why I they said we can go on live now. It's like I don't think so. Uh, I'm I'm having a bad hair day. See right there. It's time to go get it cut. Anyway, I like to go off topic, mm, but I think we should start researching. There's all the information's on the internet. You can Google it, Bing it, whatever search you want. You could get the information that you be prepared. Like the Boy Scout says, if it happens to you, you know you're right. You plead the fifth. Tell them you have rights. What's your because you're preparing not because of the arrest. You're preparing to file a civil suit because they have cameras. If the troopers do, but I don't know about the ICE agents or Homeland Security, the CBP. So if when you file that, that's evidence right there. I mean, you have your evidence. You got to know beforehand if it happens to you. I hope it never happens to anyone, but 3,000 quota, then everybody's getting $30,000 bonus. They just passed it, but you won't see it until next year. Now they're recruiting. Like I said, these were white supremacists, Proud Boys, all these racist people. I've seen people like, oh, man, that officer's chunky. And they're like, but just be prepared. I mean, I just saw that. I'll put the clips down. I'll prepare it. We need to stick together and have cameras handy. Because if you say what you like, I'm telling you, you're what to say. And if they ignore it. That's their um, what do you call it? Racial profiling. Because they're they say it on camera. It's like, well, yeah, because they ask you, are you illegal or I'm a citizen. And so, but they're using racial profiling because they pull you over because you're Latino, and that's in Florida, but anywhere now, anywhere. And when you do record the license plate on the vehicle. Sometimes they're getting covering it up or don't have it. But some do. Just gotta be prepared. Know what to say. You plead the fifth. I have rights. What's your like the I've seen another one. What's your why you stop me? Uh, and always have a camera. That's all I'm going to say. But like I said, I drank like almost a pot of coffee, and before I don't drink that much coffee. But I'm almost running out of water again. At least I wanted to say that because I've seen that a lot. But we do. Everybody has um, rights, even if you're not a citizen. It says there in the Constitution. And Trompetas wants to get rid of it. I shouldn't say him, the Heritage Foundation or Project 2025. And one also I want to say too is like they want to build these detention centers, and they say they're flying them out, but they're making money off of these people. And when they make money, they're probably gonna do the kind of like make them work, and they make money off of them. That's There's something going on. Why they're making all these these detention centers, and some are like missing, where they I've seen they've been dropped off in the middle of the ocean. There's two there's some everything's going on. Just watch your back. Watch your surroundings. No, have a camera ready. Know that your amendments. Know what to say, and that's all I'm going to say. Because we all do have rights. That's what I want to say. And like right now, I'm busy, 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 busy. That's why I drink a pot of coffee. I have my paperwork, my the one here in Sherman, I have to split it up. The one in Beaumont, I have to split it up. So those two equal 6 or 7. And it's taking me a while. That's why I drink a dark pot of coffee. Anyway, I'll end it there. If I had anything, leave your comments. Everything's on the internet, and so yeah, the Black Laws Dictionary is what attorneys use and the courts use, but it's kind of sometimes, you know, garbage. But for normal citizens, you're like, oh, whatever. What lawyers and judicial people, they go by that. So, anyways, that's all I'm gonna say. Have a good day. It's going to be hot. Drink a lot of water, electrolytes, and stay cool. Ciao. Ova. Sayonara. What's in there? Obrigado. Arigato. I'm trying to learn uh, Portuguese. Portuguese. I know some Japanese, but not that very well. Anyways, ciao. Arigato.